Hi, I'm David Grossman. You're watching Keeping It Real here on alltalktv.com, broadcasting from Fitzgerald's Pub in the beach in Toronto. I'm very pleased to introduce you to MsKitty. MsKitty, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for being here. MsKitty is a nudist, a lifestyle, and a fetish enthusiast. I'm delighted that you could be here, MsKitty. So this is a topic that probably a lot of people are curious about, I think. Because we're sexual beings. Let's face it, and a lot of us lead monogamous lifestyles, and it's sometimes not easy to be monogamous. And people are curious. A lot of people are probably lacking in sex in their lives. Would like to be having more sex, and I know that's not all it's about. But there's a door to having a more interesting sex life anyway, for people who are involved in this. So tell us, if you would, to start, MsKitty, please, how did you get involved in this kind of lifestyle? What does it all mean to you?
I got started when I was hanging out in the gay bars and back in the Vancouver days, and I ended up meeting this wonderful couple who just embraced me, and we just had a lot of fun. And long story short is that this couple had introduced me to the whole part of the BDSM with all the implements and floggers, to having private parties at his house. I didn't participate, I watched and just observed from afar, and I knew that it was more for an older crowd. I didn't really know what to expect, but just watching and just learning from what they have to offer. So I didn't really get involved, not quite yet, but then again I was going out to some of their events that they invited me, and it opened up a lot of doors, and just something about, wow, sex is not just, it happens in bed, just underneath the sheets. There's something more to it.
Right. You mean there's other places people can have sex than under Okay, well, you'll learn something new every day. Okay, so MsKittyinToronto.com, that is your blog. We can put the address on the screen for our viewers if they want to check it out. How long have you been writing this blog?
My blog has been active for just over a year. I had my 1-year celebration at the club, and it was quite wonderful. I had a free trip to Hedo 2 resorts in Jamaica. I had 2 tickets to the Toronto Raptors game, a couple of other adult videos that people had contributed. One of my other co-hosts, Dirty Bingo Teresa, and she.
Dirty Bingo Teresa.
Well, it's Dirty Bingo, but her name is Teresa, and she had donated like a nice door prize, that kind of thing. So people that has been part of my events, and people that appreciate what the stuff that I do bring into the city, whether bringing in an event, but allowing a space that people can actually be sexually open as a sex positive space, but yet at the same time, embrace the community, appreciate the people. And
are we talking about Oasis now?
Yes.
Okay, so Oasis is a club that you got involved with how long ago?
Just over a year.
Okay.
I started off as a patron.
Yes.
And I love the space. I love what it has to offer. It's a club run by women, made for women. It makes you feel good, and not even just, physically, but just, as far as, what the elements that they have, like the outdoor heated pool, the steam room, the sauna, the whirlpool. The staff is wonderful. It's kind of like a Naked Cheers.
Naked Cheers. Okay, well, maybe that's what we should be doing here at Fitzgerald's. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to the boss here, Peter Bernard. I think he might be open to some new ideas. But you said it's a club run by women for women. So does that mean there's no men in the club?
No, there's men and there's couples. The couple of events that I do host, the one event on Wednesdays, it's every Wednesday, and it allows single males to come in, as well as single ladies get to come in for free, the whole day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. and couples. And sometimes, couples that are looking for other males, or maybe they just want to go there and relax. Who
Right.
knows? But I set up the platform at Oasis, to, not only you're just having fun, but a learning space. So we have workshops. We have some amazing workshops coming up in May. Some American speakers that coming in, like Monica Darling, Reed Mahalko, and Lance Lanoff.
I'm sorry, I don't know who these people are there.
They're sexual educators,
Okay.
and they all come from a different variety of backgrounds, whether
Okay.
they're...
And so these events are taking place at the club.
yeah.
Okay, so it's a place where people can
Can
go
learn.
and learn as well. And actually, I noticed there's a workshop coming up later this month, I think, in March.
This
called,
coming Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday.
Yes.
Called How to Take the Right Approach to Attracting Women,
Yes.
which sounds good. So I'll have to check my schedule because...
Well, it's more geared to that, to the particular in that environment. We find that there are some times that, single males may have, not like a big issue, but I think just, okay, how do I act in this in this environment?
Right.
Or, what is the appropriate way of actually talking to people, or, maybe, learning about personal boundaries, not going out forth and just touching somebody, because that's not just,
Right, right.
we still have space issues, right? We
Right.
got to make sure you got to respect one another,
Right, okay.
and not out forwardly grabbing something that you just like.
Right.
It's not like a candy store.
Well, I'll tell you, that sounds like a really good workshop, because it's like in that environment, it would be a real crash course. Okay, because sometimes men and women, I suppose, can struggle for years to find, how do I meet other people? How should I act on certain things? What is what is the appropriate way to do things? So in this environment, it's like I suppose cut right to the chase. Because we realize there's a recognition there that we are sexual beings, and we can be openly talk about it, but it still means that you have to have certain respect and boundaries and so on.
Yeah, so we do this, we just implement it into our schedule every fourth Wednesday of the month. And so this time we're doing skits. So we find that when
that sounds like,
so we do like a
fun
little
too.
bit of theater.
Oh, interesting, right.
We have a little mini stage in the Red Bar on the third floor. And, we have, okay, so I get to be the one in the situation, the girl, and then we have one of my other management, and he gets to be the creep, so he's acting inappropriately.
Okay.
And then we have Miss F, who is facilitating the workshops, and then she kind of gives out pointers, and then, just what are the things that are, is that a good way to approach it, or is that a bad way? Just kind of learning about communication and boundaries, and and all the different languages that we speak, whether from our body, or obviously when we're talking to one another, and making sure that you're clear. It's all about clear communication.
Right. That sounds like a lot of fun as well too. So if people want to check that out, they can, I guess, find the information through your website as well, MsKitty. Toronto.com, or I guess they could go directly to the Oasis website for that.
OasisIcoLounge.com. We're always constantly updating our events online. We're trying to get ahead so that people that are from out of town, they come in and then they can actually organize their schedules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like a good time. Now let's talk about travel, because I know you're studying to become a travel agent, and I think you love to travel.
I do. I just went on my first lifestyle cruise, which is lifestyle meaning as in swinging. So there's that one was a bit of a smaller turnout, so it was just over about 1,100 people on that cruise.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good turnout. That's a lot of swingers.
And it's a whole takeover. So there's no kids running around. It's just people that are in there to
1,100 swingers. That's sounds interesting. That must be pretty exciting. Yeah.
You got to be prepared for it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm going on another one in April.
Oh, okay.
So that's in like less than 2 weeks' time. And it goes out of Puerto Rico. And then we go to like St. Kitts, St. Martin, a couple other places, Aruba.
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. So if people want to find out more about some of these trips, right? I guess these are open to anybody who wants to go on them and participate. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so they would go to your website, Char Travel, CHAR. We actually have, we're putting it on the screen for people, chartravel.com/kitty.
Yeah.
And they can find out more about these trips and sign up.
Yes.
Okay, that's terrific. Well, I think we've pretty much touched on everything. I don't know, did we miss anything? Oh yeah, here was one. We might as well, because I think we've got another minute before we go before we take off. So I found this from on your blog. Under the bio.
On the bio.
This actually was probably a few things we could talk about having read your bio. But one of them was, as much as I like to be dominant, I still enjoy aggressive, throw me around in one-arm sex.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Because I'm 47 years old and I don't know what that is yet. So,
Well, as I like to say, sex is kind of like, it's like a gymnasium. It's a gymnastics, right? So you're being thrown around in a bunch of different
I think I'm getting
scenarios.
The picture now.
Yes.
Right.
I have a very dominant personality. I know what I like. I know what I want. And, I like to say I generally get it.
Right, okay.
And then, as far as I do like to be manhandled when it's time to
one
play.
arm. So what?
I think that's what I meant.
So
like
the man would be using one arm,
or no,
what's he doing
not
with
constantly
his other
just
arm?
with one. I think it's just more like you're wrestling, you're tussling around, and just I don't know. I've had really strong exes in the past, and they can just pick me up with one arm and just like throw me on the bed, like that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Obviously, it's all consent. So
okay, sure. And now, even being a dom, you're okay with that. You don't mind. So because if somebody's doing that, does that mean that they're acting as the dom?
Good question. So I know when you're playing, in the BDSM world, there are times that people actually don't have this whole sexual component to it. When you're in that role and you're playing, in that situation, yes, I am dominant. But when it comes to sex, I think that's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, when you're playing in the BDSM world, I mean, it is somewhat a form of a sex, but it's not like a fluid exchange, right? It's very exterior. But I would also think it's more about the mental play, and then it's the physical play. I say it's 60-40.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds very interesting. And I don't think it gets too much better than that here at All Talk TV. Not yet. We haven't started implementing our education and role play nights here yet.
The more I talk about it, or the more I get saucy, throw me some more red wine, and I'm sure we can definitely have a conversation.
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe we can set up an evening one night and bring some people in and do a live show and have some red wine and do a little education and a little bit of fun at the same time. Would you be open to that?
Sure. And you know what? This coming Wednesday, not only is this that whole workshop, but we do have porn stars coming in.
Porn stars?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happening this Wednesday.
This Wednesday, and it's a live sex show.
And excuse me?
It's a live sex show.
A live sex show. Okay, well, I don't know that we would go that far here at Fitzgerald's, but if you want to take in the live sex show and all the other fun stuff that's going on at the Oasis Lounge, is that what it's called? Oasis Lounge? Then
Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Aqua Lounge. Then you want to be there this Wednesday, and you want to check out the website. You can get to it and get to all the information you need by going to MsKitty's blog, which is MsKittyintoronto.com. Make sure you check that out. And check out chartravel.com/kitty for some of these great cruises and other lifestyle cruises.
Absolutely.
That are coming up, and should be lots of fun. And I hope to see you there as well. Thank you very much, MsKitty, for being here on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It was my pleasure. Until next time, you're watching Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman.